I'm John Wagner, the Water Superintendent for the City of Rapid City Public Works Department. The treatment facility for the surface water here on Mountain View was originally constructed in 1961 at a capacity of 24 million gallons of water per day. In 1978, the treatment plant was expanded to its current capacity of 32 million gallons a day. Today we're going to tour the surface treatment plant on Mountain View Road. So what we have here is the control room for the Mountain View water treatment plant, and it's kind of a 1961 design schematic of actually how the water flows through the treatment plant and the instrumentation that we're using to monitor the water at different points of the treatment process. Before the water leaves the facility is once again treated with the chlorination process. All the instrumentation you see here tells us how much water is in the storage reservoir out in front of the treatment plant, how much water is being pumped into two different pressure zones, what the chlorine residual is in the water leaving the treatment process, and what the turbidity is coming out of each of the filters. Once again, the turbidity is a measure of the clarity of the water, and we have to meet stringent standards, EPA standards, before any of the water can leave this facility. The water that comes through the Mountain View treatment plant comes from, as mentioned before, the Pactole and Deerfield reservoirs through Rapid Creek, and what we have here is the banks of Rapid Creek. And the intake structure is just off to my right, downstream of the wooden building. The water flows by gravity through the concrete vault, under the dike, through a check structure right here on the dike, and into the water treatment plant. This is the Marsh screen room. This is an electric screen that moves very slow with nozzles behind it. It shoots with high pressure. Any debris that collects on the screen, it prevents them from getting into the pump room right next door. This is the raw water pump room. This is where the water is transferred after it goes through the traveling screen upstairs into the contact basin. We have the chlorine and the fluoride in this basin before it's pumped upstairs for mixing. If we were to run all the raw water pumps at one time, it would account for 40 million gallons per day that we could potentially pump through the treatment plant. We are required by state law to add fluoride to the drinking water for tooth decay prevention, and this is our fluoride feed equipment. We try to maintain a 1.2 part per million fluoride residual in the drinking water, and this is also added in the raw water basin downstairs before it's pumped upstairs into the contact basins. This is our chlorine feed room. The chlorination process is used to kill bacteria, viruses in the water. We add chlorine at two different points in the treatment train. One where the water comes into the facility, and the second point is as it leaves the facility. The water flows into the contact basin. Actually, it's pumped from downstairs in the raw water basin, and it flows upstairs into this contact basin, where it is mixed in the center by a large mixer. The chemicals are mixed with the water, and that's when the particulates start to get larger because of the coagulant we're using. After it's mixed and the particulate grow bigger in size so they can be filtered out, the water flows by gravity into the two main troughs, flows under the floorway into the filter room before it flows into the filter and is filtered out in the filtration process. This is the filtration room. The filtration process is the last process in the treatment process. The filters actually do all the work to clean the water to the standards that we have to comply with before it's pumped out into the distribution system. The water comes into the center trough, percolates through the filter, the mixed media filter we have, and then it's taken away from the filter into a storage reservoir outside of the treatment plant. And from there, we pump the water into the distribution system. In western South Dakota, we live in a semi-arid part of the state and only receive 16 to 17 inches of rain or moisture on an average year. It's very important for us to conserve this natural resource because there's not an unlimited supply. And everybody can do their part, from turning the faucet off when they're brushing their teeth, installing a low-flow shower head in the shower, using high efficiency appliances within the home, not letting the water run down the gutter, not running water to hose down the driveway and the sidewalk, but actually taking some responsibility for the resource that we have.